to see so many conscious people a part of a movement to change our nation and to change our world. Give it up for yourselves. Let's hear it. My name is Jamshid Bakhtiari, and I work with the Chesapeake Climate Action Network. I know that is a mouthful, so you can just say I'm Jam, and I work with CCAN. It doesn't really rhyme, but I go with it. We have a number of speakers from around the East Coast today to talk about not only the dirty doings of Dominion, but the dirty doings of the fossil fuels industry. Now I want you to give it up for your first speaker, Lauren Malhotra from the Virginia Student Environmental Coalition. Let's hear it. And if everyone could just come up, come together, stand close.
Closer.
And through some turn of fate, I showed up at a house in Charlottesville full of people I didn't know for a summer program for which I had no clue what I would be doing. But those 10 weeks of the Virginia Student Environmental Coalition's first annual summer organizing program were some of the best of my life. I found a community of dedicated, passionate, creative, and brilliant individuals working tirelessly for a vision of the future of Virginia that I could believe in. One where our politicians aren't puppets of destructive corporations like Dominion. One where energy democracy could be a reality and where communities could lead the charge to a renewable power future. One where Virginians don't have to choose between jobs and justice because we deserve both and we can have that. One where the inheritance of extraction and exploitation of this state will not be our legacy. This vision was what compelled me to take my last semester off of college and work with VSEC this spring. And in this community that I was so blessed to find, the fact that I was young was valued. The fact that I was ready to be creative and take risks was celebrated. The fact that I was angry was welcomed. It was a righteous anger that we shared and that we let fuel our work. We used this anger to build our power with other passionate young people, to work to hold our politicians accountable to us, not to the fossil fuel money lining their pockets. And we've done that consistently from the local level all the way up to presidential candidates on the 2016 campaign trail. And we're not stopping anytime soon. We need real leadership on climate. No longer can we settle for backing politicians who pay lip service to our needs, all the while supporting pipelines destroying our communities. The time has come and gone even for politicians who feign neutrality. How can we expect radical action if we don't demand it at every turn? But I don't need to tell you all this. That's why we're here, right? To blow the whistle on Dominion. Yeah? Let's hear it. But appealing to Dominion cannot and will not be our only way forward. Their interests are in direct opposition to our values. Values of truth and of justice, of community and of caring deeply for our people. No, Dominion nor any other fossil fuel corporation will ever give us what we want. We so often forget the power of what we have. The power of people like Tom Farrell is nothing compared to our power. In a time like this, complacency with the status quo is our enemy. We must come together and use our power to demand change, to build the future that we need. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for Lauren. Right? All right, we're in Virginia. We're in Virginia. This is the land of soul. We got soul music, soul food, and soul power. Let me hear the soul power, and let's hear it for Lauren. Let's hear it. So I just got word that at the shareholder meeting, they were watching us protesting on the corner through a camera they were recording us with from the building.
Oh, yeah!
So they wanted to stay behind curtains, but we were still heard, right? And when you got the truth on your side, you cannot silence it. I want you to give it up for our next speaker. He's an organizer based in Hampton Roads on the front lines of Rising Seas. Let's hear it for Hampton Roads. Let's hear it for the movement. Let's hear it for Harrison Wallace.
All right, if you guys are from east of Richmond, I need to hear you make some noise. Where is Hampton Roads today? Okay. We woke up early to be here. Y'all should be very awake by now. Again, my name's Harrison Wallace. I am the organizer for CCAN. I am a Virginia resident, Virginia lifelong resident. I've been moving east my whole life. So Dominion's assault on Virginia has been something that is going to touch everywhere that I hold dear and that I have roots in, from living in the Shenandoah Valley, being from Waynesboro, Virginia, and seeing what they want to do to our mountaintops, to coming to Richmond, where I spent most of my years, and seeing them attempt to poison the James River through coal ash dumping, to Hampton Roads, which is second to New Orleans as far as assets in danger to sea level rise, and they want to build a 600-mile pipeline. So all I'm saying is that what we're doing today is extremely important for the future of all generations of Virginia and around the world in general. Man, this thing's got a lot of feedback. But so basically what I wanted to talk about today was how, as Mike talked about earlier, Dominion is a bit of a devil to our climate. And I think they're attacking Hampton Roads with 3 prongs of really, really dangerous tactics to try to make sure that they can keep making money. All right, we'll turn that off. Can y'all hear me?
Louder.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So like I said, Dominion taking the devilish approach to Hampton Roads. Right now we're being hit hard from them because of sea level rise. They want to build a pipeline that would pump frack gas from West Virginia, where we don't need it, and that would lead to up to 6 feet of sea level rise in Hampton Roads. I don't know if any of you are from Norfolk, but could you imagine 4 feet of water? All right. Besides that, Dominion's illegal coal ash dumping off of the Chesapeake Bay and near the Elizabeth River is causing what could be a horrible situation with the fact that we're already flooding. They're putting billions of gallons of coal ash into our rivers. Do you guys want coal ash in your drinking water? No! I didn't think so. I just make sure you're all a little quiet today. And lastly, I just want to talk about the fact that if most of you didn't know, we have the potential for a lot of wind energy off the coast of Hampton Roads. And do you guys know who owns all the leases for that wind energy?
Dominion!
Have they built anything? No! So there's a reason we're here today. It's not just because they're rich. It's because they're rich and they want to get richer off of our backs. No! And they're doing it because they think that either we don't care or we're not powerful enough to stop them. But one thing we've seen over the last year is that they're spending a lot of money trying to convince people that coal ash isn't that dangerous and pipelines are necessary. And that's because people like you are telling your friends, telling the news, telling everybody that you know the dangers of these things. And also, they used to be able to buy every politician in Virginia, but now there are over 60 people who are saying that they won't take their money anymore.
No dirty money!
This is because of you, every single one of you. So that's all I wanted to say here today. We at Hampton Roads thank all of you for your actions, and I thank all the people at Hampton Roads who came up here today. The fight isn't over, but we're winning. Don't let them think that you are not making this happen. And lastly, I just want to make sure you guys know that it doesn't end today. If you haven't already, make sure you sign the Pledge of Resistance to the Atlantic Coast Pipeline. Make sure that you are pushing Governor McCullough to cut our carbon by 30% by 2030. Do not stop. Let this be a springboard for more actions. Thank you, guys.
All right, I'm gonna need some audience participation.
a nursing home. That's what those guys in that building are. That's what they stand for. Then they told me they were going to come and steal my property to put a pipeline in, and I could say nothing about it. Who's heard that story in Virginia? Everybody. While I was up there, I found out after you come up against this, you fight. And I found some fighters. That's the next two speakers. Ray Kimball's from Dimock, Pennsylvania. This is his neighbor's well water right next door. That's the water that comes out of his water well. Only for the last 8.5 years. 33 families' water changed in one day on September 11, 2008, and it's never cleared up. We won't stand for it anywhere. I took this team to New York, and New York said no. We went to Maryland, and Maryland said no. Now we're here in Virginia. We went to Florida, and Florida's getting ready to say no. Virginia, are you ready to say what to any of this? No. I'd like to introduce you to Ray Kimball. Worked in the industry and an affected landowner.
From Dimock, Pennsylvania, when the industry came there and started drilling, contaminated our water, that's when I went to work for industry to find out what was going on when our government and our local officials were lying to all the neighbors. We have a saying there, once you frack, you can't go back. When you drill a hole in the ground, you have to frack. When you frack, you have to put gathering lines in. When you have gathering lines in, it goes into the infrastructure that they put in prior to us coming, and that's the pipeline. So once the pipeline goes in, the infrastructure comes in, and the drilling comes in, and all hell breaks loose. The other problem is what you don't have down here is wet gas, and that's what comes out of the Marcellus Shale is wet gas. Silica sand is in with the gas. Uranium, 4 grades of it, is radioactive. It comes down, it eats the lines inside out, and this is why you're seeing all these gas explosions, pipeline explosions, and everything else that's going on across the country, because the system cannot handle the wet gas. They want to put pipelines in everywhere, and we're going to stop it. There are not going to be pipelines. We're going to stop you from pipelines. We're going to stop you from gathering lines. We're going to stop from compressor stations and stop the damn drilling. Once you frack, you can't go back. Well, this is a big microphone, but I hope I sound all right. First, I'd like to say in the first language, hello. Hello. That in my language is Ani. Ani. Now we have a greeting, and I want to greet each and every one of you that's here today to empower you on this journey, because it's been an amazing discovery in the last 5 years with these guys. And meet your neighbors. There's an invisible line that we call the county line. We call that the medicine line. Get to know your neighbors, you know, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take all of us to stop what's going on right at this point. You know, so Ani, Miigwech, Ahaw. One more thing I'm on turn and tell you. 2 months before Christmas, I buried my brother. On the Bridger Street. Broke my back 2 weeks after that. Diagnosed with cancer 3 weeks after that. I'll be going for surgery at the end of the month. I may live, I may not. Don't know. The cancer is so rare, there's no treatment for it. I have 5 surgeons. There's no treatment, there's no magic potions, no nothing. We cut it out and pray to God it doesn't come back. That's the best they can do for me. This is all counted from working the industry, where there is over 18 different chemicals that are cancer-causing agents in the chemicals that they try to hide from the general public. I have an ATSDR report that was done by the federal government for Dimock, Pennsylvania for the groundwater contamination that they admit is there. I have a recording, and I asked them, why was it so long for this report to be released by the federal government? Because I'll turn around and tell you, Ray, but he goes, you're not going to like it. He goes, well, I'll turn around and tell you. Until we remove schools, children, pregnant women, and the effects of them from the report, the White House would not permit this report to be released. So everything to do with pregnant women, children, schools, playgrounds get the truth. Well, I'm back, and tomorrow night we'll be doing a showing of gas work at the library here, and we'll, I forgot my notebook, but it's full of notes, so we can share there if you guys are interested. Yep, so 7:30 to 8:30.
8:30.
All right, thanks.
7 to 8.
Yeah, that showing 7 to 8:30. If you want some flyers, we got them on us. Come either meet me, come meet Barb, come meet Ray, come meet Fred, come meet Lee, and you can come see this movie. It will change your life, I swear.
Richmond Public Library. Hey, you got
All right, folks, how we feeling? I'm gonna need a little bit more for this next speaker. How we feeling? Our next speaker resides in Richmond, Virginia. She is a local leader. She is a member of the Cherokee Nation and has spent months as a leader with the medic team at Standing Rock. I want everyone to give me everything you got for Vanessa Boland. Let's hear it.
I'm so proud to be here today, and I'm so honored to stand behind the youth as they spoke and touched me, because they're our 7th generation, and in our culture it's known that our 7th generation will be our leaders. Out in North Dakota, the matriarchs and the youth and the women led the way. I'm honored to stand behind these men and listen to them talk, and it humbles me to know that they've been so affected by the pipelines in their area, by the frack gas. I just want you to know that out in North Dakota I learned something. I learned that the greed of corporations will go to no lengths to get their money. I watched as innocent, prayerful, peaceful people were maced, tear gas, sprayed, shot with rubber bullets, tased, beat, water cannons used on them in 27-degree weather, and watch people turn into human ice cubes. I've seen that greed, and I've seen the politicians turn a blind eye to it. I have seen the police department protect the pipelines. We are in such trouble if we don't wake up as human beings, as members of the human race. This issue transcends race, color, religion. I don't care what you got going on in your life. The most important thing is for us to wake up and know that we need to stop the rape of Mother Earth. We need to stop the fracking. We need to stop the industries that refuse to put their money into renewable energy. We have wind, solar, water. Everything's here for us in Virginia. We just need corporations like Dominion to invest in those things. We need to stand up as one voice, as one people. We need to stop them from going to marginalized communities like reservations, poor neighborhoods, African American neighborhoods. They are targeting these neighborhoods to put their pipeline because they are the weakest voice. We need to all come together. Black, white, Hispanic, Native American, Asian. We need to stand up and push back against these corporations that are violating not only the Mother Earth, but our communities and our most vulnerable communities. We need to be powerful as one person, as one people, as one voice. I'm honored to stand with Virginia and help stop the ACP and the MVP.
To introduce our next speaker, he is a leader in the Buckingham community, a frontline community that is at the forefront of the struggle against Dominion versus the people. He is a religious leader, he is an activist, and he is something that I personally look up to. I want everyone in this place right now to give it up for Pastor Paul. Let's hear it.
When I was growing up, when I got out of control, you know, when you're a teenager, you're a kid, you get out of control. My grandmother used to tell me, boy, you've gotten too big for your britches. Anybody's parents, grandparents ever told them that? You're too big for your britches? Well, Dominion Power, you are too Because all you want is money because of greed. And the Bible tells us, teaches us that greed is of the devil. We will stop you. You're destroying with your dream of a compressor station in Buckingham County for the ACP. You are destroying our community, and it is no more than a nightmare. But we want to make a good dream. And our dream, listen, is for all of us to enjoy the wealth, listen to this one, to the wealth of the land and of Mother Earth. Listen, the wealth of clean air, the wealth of solid families, communities, and our churches, our places of worship. Dominion has to be stopped. The industry must be stopped. Our political leaders must change and be voted out of office. There is power in the people. And the people will speak. The people shall speak. And we will have the last word. God bless.
Alright, we're about to have a song. We're about to share a song together. Before I do that, I need to make a couple thank yous. I work with CCAN, you guys know that. Harrison spoke earlier with CCAN, but we really need to give a shout out to our partners on this event. Appalachian Voices and Sierra Club. Now, as everyone here knows, as I'm looking out over a beautiful movement of seasoned activists that know what they're doing. And we all know that the movement doesn't stop today with this march. It didn't stop after the People's Climate March. And it won't stop after the next one. So a lot of people ask me every day, Jam, I'm a busy man. I'm a busy woman. I don't have time to go to everything that there is. And I say that's understandable. So they say, tell me one thing that I can do to fight climate change. And I always tell them the same thing. You know what that is? I say develop a relationship with one group in your community that is fighting climate change. Whether it be Appalachian Voices, Sierra Club, CCAN, VSEC, any of the other organizations that are doing it and know what they're doing, develop a relationship with them because it will keep you engaged in the fight and engaged in the struggle as we go forward. Now I want to welcome our next guest out here. She traveled all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, actually from Portsmouth, where I'm from, and she's going to lead us in a bit of a song. So I want everyone to put your hands together as we raise our voices in unison with Kia.